Estevão Willian, Brazilian wonder kid down there playing for Palmeiras with Endrick, my guy Endrick, coming to Madrid in the summer. Shout out to him. But yeah, his teammate, Estevão, this guy is being tracked by a lot of teams around Europe. And the club who are about to sign him is actually Chelsea. And I think that is idiotic. If you're Estevão Willian, why the hell, at 17 years old, would you commit your future to Chelsea? I don't understand it. What is the rush? You have so much time to make a decision. You're being linked to Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, PSG. You don't have to rush and sign for Chelsea, brother. You can wait. You have a lot of eyes on you. People are going to be tracking your development. If you just keep your head down, keep on developing, playing your style of football, these clubs will still be here for you. I don't understand when these kids who are like 15, 16, or even 17 years old commit their future to an elite European club. Do you guys know that if Chelsea signed Estevão right now, he can't join them in the summer because he doesn't have a European passport and he's underage. So you have to wait for him to turn 18. That's why it's dumb for me. Because why would you sign for a team and then you can't play for them for a whole year? You don't know what Chelsea are going to be like next season. Well, after next season, I should say, because he can't play next season. He has to stay in Brazil. You don't know what they're going to need. You don't know if they might even have a new manager that might not even rate you. But you've already made your decision to join them at 16 or 17 years old. Like when they signed that kid, Kendry Pies. I don't know what country he's from. He looks really good. But why did he sign for Chelsea at 16? It makes no sense. He could have had better clubs looking at him. And this is not me shitting on Chelsea, by the way, even though that's what it might come across as. I just don't think it really makes that much sense for these young players. Like, where's Estevão's parents? If that's my kid, I'm telling him we don't have to rush. Keep on developing at Palmeiras. And then in a year, we'll see who's around. We'll see who still wants you. We'll see what clubs you can go to and make an immediate impact. So, no, I don't think he should sign for Chelsea because they're a joke at the moment as well. They don't look that good. And I don't get how they're going to spend 40 to 50 million to bring this kid in. They need a striker. Estevão Willian can't help them right now. Where are the priorities? Chelsea are a team that have spent £1 billion in the last 2 seasons since Todd Bowley has come in. Why are you spending significant amount of money on a kid that cannot play for you for another season or two? It doesn't make any sense. Chelsea, you're in 7th right now. You need other things than focusing on younger players who cannot impact what you're doing at the moment. But I do think this Estevão kid looks really good. I've seen his highlights. I do not watch Palmeiras play. I will not sit here and lie to you. People are going to come and act like they've been watching Brazilian youth football because everybody's an expert nowadays. Get the hell out of here. I don't even think that you can watch Brazil games in America. I got to go find some bookie website where when I click on the play button, it's popping up like 50 ads before I can watch the game. But from what I've seen, he looks really talented. He looks like he will be one of the next gems to come from Brazil. And that's why I'm saying, just wait, bro. You do not have to commit your future. I would like him at Real Madrid, though. I'm not going to lie. Look, from what I've seen, bring him to Madrid. But I think he's a Barcelona fan. Not that that really matters, because I think Barca are bowing out the race because they don't have the money to afford his release clause. And it's just crazy that a player, because Willian only made his debut for Palmeiras' first team like a month or two ago. And it's crazy that you're already going to have to pay $45 million for a kid that hasn't really proven anything at the top level. It's just all off the potential. And people might say, oh, well, Real Madrid signed Endrick. You're not going to complain about that. If I'm being honest, yeah, I thought it was dumb for Endrick to sign for Madrid over a year ago. Because you don't know what Madrid are going to be like when you get there. You don't know if the manager even wanted you, if he had you in his plans, if he even planned on integrating you into the first team. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so I can say for my own club, yeah, Endrick took a risk. I think it's going to pay off, though, because I'm really excited for him to come in. And I think he will play a role for us next season coming off the bench, because I don't expect him to be starting most games at 18 years old. I think we're going to have another striker, whether that's Mbappe or somebody else. And it looks like Endrick, he's taking that gamble. And so far, he's been balling out with Palmeiras, made his Brazil debut, scored his first goal at Wembley for Brazil. And yeah, he looks like one of the next best strikers for the future generation. But it's still risky. I keep the same energy. I think the only clubs, if I'm a kid like Estevão Willian, that I would really sign for is Dortmund and maybe Barça. Because we all know that Dortmund, their whole thing is get young players, make them good, sell them for profit. So if Dortmund sign you, they have every incentive to make sure that you work out, that you develop, because they want to make profit. I always say that Dortmund are the equivalent of a human trafficking organization. They're looking for young kids, and they want to sell them for money. Let's just call it what it is. Barca, they love leaning on young kids as well. Lamine Yamal, 16 years old, being run into the dirt. Kubarsi, Pedri, Ansu Fati. Barca have a history of putting young kids in the limelight, pushing them into the deep end. So if they spend money on you, more than likely, they will want to play you, even though we got to talk about Victor Roque and what his agent said about Xavi, because then that might actually contradict what I'm saying. But, yeah, actually forget Barcelona, if I'm being honest. They only really want to bring in La Masia kids. I don't really think that they go and buy young kids as well. So, yeah, maybe not even Barcelona, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, look, I think Estevão Willian looks really good. And I've been following his progress online. And, yeah, a lot of people rate him. So, we'll see. I think him coming to the Prem, he's going to have to beef up. He's going to have to get more physical. And I think he can succeed. But, again, who knows? There's a lot of kids that, people just always gas up and say he's the next Neymar, the next Messi, the next Ronaldo, the next this, the next that. And then they just go on to flop. So, hopefully it doesn't happen to him. I like the way that he plays. He's very direct. He's good with his feet. He has pace too. But his game it involves a lot of skill, a lot of flair. And that might be hard for him to do in the Prem because of how physical the league is. But I think if he goes to Germany, to Spain, to France, yeah, I think he'd cook. But, we'll see how he develops. I just don't think he should be signing for any of these clubs at the moment. Just keep on developing. And if you are the player that people think you are, clubs will still be here to want to sign you. What do you think? That if you don't sign right now, that they're going to say, yep, we don't want him no more. No, if you keep on developing, they will all come back. But look, hopefully, Endrick gets in his ear and says, come to Madrid. Don't you want to play with me? Don't you want to be at one of the best clubs in the world? A club that has a track record of Brazilian success. Has there been any successful Brazilians at Chelsea that were young? I don't think so. On top of that, at Madrid, we don't have a natural right winger. Rodrigo is my guy. That's my favorite player. But let's be honest, he's better on the left. Even though he's not going to start there because we have Vinny. But Estevão, he's a natural right winger. He might be able to displace him. On top of that, you get to play with your boy Endrick. So I'm being a little bit shameless here. And from what I've seen of you, I like you. And I'd like you to come to the Bernabeu. And we know that Florentino Perez is involved. I'm telling you, Juni Calfat and all our scouts, they're looking at him. They maybe have not made a bid, but if you don't think Brazil are trying to send some of their young talent to Real Madrid, you're out of your damn mind. Come on now, people. But one thing I do want to say before we move on about his release clause, right? With it being 45 million, and even though I think that is a lot of money to pay for a player that really hasn't done anything yet, I think it's smart from the clubs that put these high release clauses in players who are more so just breaking through. Because now, when you lose these young talents that are going to probably go on to be world-class players in Europe, you're going to still be able to get good profit from them that you can use to put back into your team. Because let's be honest, Palmeiras and all these other clubs in Brazil, they're not making as much money as these European clubs are. So when they're getting big fees for their players, it really does help them. So I understand why he costs so much. I get it. I just think the way that the transfer market is going, it's ridiculous. Next thing you know, you're going to have to be paying $75 million for a kid that's like 15. Like, that's how it's going. Literally. A player that costs you $45 million should be able to go into your starting 11. Well, no. Should be able to go into your team, maybe not start week in, week out, but he should be there and be able to contribute right away. That's how I view it. But look, man, the market is getting crazy. Inflation is real, people. But it's looking like Estevão Willian will end up at Chelsea. I'm not hating on it. I just don't think that he should have made any kind of decision like that right now. Bet on yourself, kid. Bet on yourself. Now, let me know what club you think he should go to. And I think people were saying Barca, though. I think that's what everybody thinks is Barcelona. That's where he should go. And I think he is a Barcelona fan as well. I think there was a video of him saying that he wanted to play for Barcelona. And I think all these kids from South America either dream of Barca or Real Madrid. But, just Barca at the moment, they don't have the finances to get that deal done. So it's going to be hard for them to do that. But, maybe they do find a way, because I don't think that Barcelona are as broke as they want everybody to believe. But that's just me.